Hi, and welcome again to another video for Irish Academy of Mediumship, Spirit Connections. And thanks to those who have already viewed the other videos and share them, much appreciated. And just make sure you can get anyone else that's interested to like the channel, and that way they'll get updates then too when the new videos go up. So that'd be much appreciated, and I hope you'll find them interesting as well. I was thinking what to do with this particular recording, and uh, another exercise to look at for the aspect of clairvoyance um, is something that might find handy to use, and you'll see why I say handy in a moment. The clairvoyance is working with the third eye, the pointy energy center that is located in between this the two eyes, and it's around the pituitary gland. The pituitary itself is actually made up of rods and cones, just like a physical eye, and that's how light is seen. And it's been from thousands of years, going back to even Egyptians, that they they use this aspect and seen it as that purpose. The mind's eye as well. People use the expression the mind's eye, and that's essentially what they mean. And true clairvoyance, as I mentioned to the last video of the different types of mediumship, well, we can see spirit objectively or subjectively. So when the power is on a milder aspect, there is the process way we see is on a subjective level. So within my mind's eye, I will be aware and I might see a silhouette of a soul coming forward and standing with me. Or I'm seeing that, like, they place an image in my mind of what they look like. I could even bring an image of someone I know to my mind, because they look like them, and that's very simple, and it's a good aspect to use because they're using what's in your vocabulary through your experience, your life experience, is what they use. Someone said to me recently that when they were doing a practice reading, all they seen was their own grandmother, and they just went with it and described their own grandmother. Turns out she was almost the same as the person who was coming forward, who was a recipient's grandmother as well. So it makes sense that if they have a similarity, why not come true in that same way that you can easily identify and understand. Um, but as the power builds up, that becomes stronger and stronger, and you use the aspect of seeing then objectively. So sometimes on the objective way, I would see a silhouette, like a head and shoulders, like a figure standing in front of me next to the communicator, so the recipient. And then as you work with that, the silhouette, it's like a white shadow, begins to become more and more strong in its appearance, more detailed. I remember seeing the first time like an open collar shirt with a guy with a terrier underneath his arms, standing next to his wife, and that blew my mind away at the time. I wasn't um, ready to see that. I wasn't prepared to it. It just happened. The power was right, obviously, at that moment for him to impress himself upon me in that way, in that image. And yeah, every detail could be taken, including the dog underneath his arm. And that's the early stages of the clairvoyance becoming objective. And as that builds, it becomes stronger. You start seeing color within it as well, and down to a point where you could see it's almost like in detail. There's real strong detail to it. Again, another little story is a gentleman waving his hand in front of me doing this, as if he's conducting music as we were singing. Naturally, we're trying to build energy up within a practice circle for physical mediumship, just to experience the energy and building power through singing. And I thought, what's the guy next to be doing? You know, he's not supposed to be moving. but this hand was going in front of me like this. And I said it to him afterwards, and he said, no, I wasn't moving. But my father is in spirit and used to be a music conductor. So all I seen was like an opaque, like fluorescent, like the way you see these luminous stars you put on walls for kids to make out constellations, that fluorescence from fingertips to an elbow in front of me, moving as if he was conducting. So that's when I knew that my objective aspect of clairvoyance was building. So that's over time that happened. And some people, that can be very natural, very, very natural for them to happen. And they might see more that way than they'd actually feel or hear. So then they're describing what they're seeing. But if you want to practice and to build the area of clairvoyance and to get more detail with that, a very simple technique, that's what I say about a handy aspect to it, is that you see within your mind, your etheric hand, your soul hand, and you allow yourself to see that coming out and just as if it's been placed before you, and allow the spirit communicator to place an object in that hand that is related to them. Something that maybe is an actual object they had. It could be a watch, it could be an ornament, something like that, or it could be a symbology as well. That you place something which is symbolic to do with a job, a typewriter being administrative, calculator being clerical, in accounts, that type of way. And you build upon that through your experience. But seeing that hand go out and investigate, let them put the object into it and then read the object that they place there and what they talk about it as well. Because one thing that is important is the journey with the clairvoyance. Don't just see it and say it and move on. Be investigative with it. Be nosy about it. Know the history of that object. Why are they giving it to you as well? There's a reason, there's a purpose for it. So like do go into that, push into the power and of that image and the energy of that object and see the history of it, the story that's in it. We know the expression that a picture paints 1,000 words. Well, for a medium, for a psychic, it can paint a lifetime. And there's a history that goes with that. So it's just about practice, practice, practice with that. Repeatedly let them give you an object that is associated with them. And then keep going until you get the full aspect of it and the history of it that way. But it's just a very quick technique to use. Again, for building that power up to get to that point, as simple as the same I do for all the chakras, as if you're breathing in and out. It sounds odd, sounds silly, but breathe in and out through the third eye, but you're breathing in and out light and power, and that you're strengthened, like the way you flex your arms with the weights to build up muscle. Exactly the same thing. You have to build the power the same way, bring them out, in, out, and that's all I've ever done, and I found it useful. Like these techniques I give is what I've done and what's helped my development as well. So hopefully those things will help you too. And just explore it. Get a friend to sit with you for a moment, a few minutes, and try it out. A friend that you don't know much about their family, or if you do know their family, ask them to give you a name of someone that you don't know belonging to them, but they know them very well. So that will help as well. But the clairvoyance will over time develop that in that fashion. Another way you can practice as well for building the power and focusing is that going for a walk. And as you do that, look, particularly on a sunny day, as again what I've done is picking a tree in the distance, looking at the crown of the tree, just the shape, the form of the tree, but then looking just slightly above it, and you should see like a heat haze, like like a speckling of dots, so to speak, and that is the beginning of seeing the aura, the light around the tree. Everything emits an energy. All aspects of life emit an energy. So you're seeing the aura around the tree. Once you're getting closer to it, pick a tree in the distance. Focus on that one. Start to seeing the crown and the energy around that as well. Push power from yourself towards it as you're getting closer. Doesn't matter how distant you are. It's the intention. The power is there. You can watch on YouTube too. You can find out this Celestial Prophecy, and that depicts it pretty well, the way the graphics are in it. So you can go look at that as well, and just try little techniques like that. Let me know how you're getting on with it too, and I much appreciate any feedback you have as well for these videos. These are only small little insights to development from what I've done, and there Skype classes I can do as well, 1-to-1, or if like a little Skype clinic, so to speak, mediumship clinic. If you want just 1-to-1 session for one session, and if there's any problems or an area of your mediumship you want to just fine tune a little bit, that can be looked at as well. And thanks very much for watching. And any suggestions you have for other videos, do let me know, and I'll do my best to do some. Thanks very much.